Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the Grove podcast. My name is Moz and I am not your host for this episode. In a second, I'll be handing over to Tabs and a very special guest. But just before that, I wanted to give you guys my opinion on the match against Manchester City. And don't worry, I will be back soon. Sometimes, as you will hear Tabs say, life gets in the way. And believe it or not, podcasting is not my full-time job. But speaking of the match, I just think that, well, at the time, I thought Leandro Trossard was at fault. I thought he kicked the ball away and he left Michael Oliver no chance but to send him off. However, looking back on it, you notice two things very clearly. Number one is that the reaction time from the whistle being blown to Leandro Trossard hitting the ball, not into the stands, but into space where Martinelli was very, very minimal. But number two, Michael Oliver had not a Scooby where Leandro Trossard was at that time. And that's what really, really annoyed me. He didn't have a clue what he was doing. I feel like he lost control of the match from the third second when Rodri clutched his face like the pussy that he is. And he wasn't even barged in the face, it was in his shoulder. And speaking of that pussy, I just hope his ACL is firmly detached from every single part of human matter available in your knee. And I hope that he is out for a good 6 seasons minimum. I'm not going to get dragged in to the talk about Manchester City, but what I will say and what I will end this with is I am so proud of this Arsenal team. We can now go toe to toe with Man City for 50 minutes with 10 men and they can't score until the very end when our players are mentally tired and jaded and just down and we switch off from a corner. It was the last corner of the game. If that was crossed into the box, David Raya would have clutched it, kicked the ball away, and we would have had 3 points. But all is not lost. We are still in the mix, 5 games into the season, and if you'd said to me that we had to go to the Etihad, 3 Point Lane, Villa Park, and play against Brighton and Wolves, would you take it? Would you end? And if you were ended up on 11 points, would you take it? I'd say, do you know what? Yeah, under the circumstances, we've had 2 red cards in that time as well. We've still not lost a game away from home in 9 months plus. So things are looking good. Things are looking very good. It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. We have 3 very winnable games coming up, which I'm sure you'll hear the podcasts about in very due course. And we've got a couple of very fun home Champions League ties as well. So fear not, Arsenal fans. I'm sure Tabs and his very special guest will lighten your mood on Monday. And I will see you guys on the Grove podcast very, very soon. Enjoy. Over to you, Tabs.
Hello, hello, hello. Boy, oh boy, what an episode we have today. Look, first off, welcome to episode number 39 of the Grove podcast. My name is Tabs. I will be your host today. Unfortunately, life gets in the way, and Moz can't make it to today, but he'll be back for later in the week. But in his place, I am more than pleased to welcome this guy back. We've not had him on for a while. I love hearing his insights. He's akin to what I think a lot of the time. So I'm pleased to have him on board to not have too much of a disagreement. Welcome, Kusiva. I'm pleased to see that you're alive and well.
Thank you. Thanks, Tabs. Yeah, glad to be back. It's been a minute. And yesterday, I didn't think I was going to make it to today, given the stress of the last 52 minutes. But yeah, good to be back. Excited to chat about the big draw.
Yeah, look, I'm really reliant on you talking me through that second half because, to be honest, I don't think I watched any of it. I prepared dinner, I put a wash on, I emptied the dishwasher. My daughter was watching Alvin and the Chipmunks in the other room, which it didn't get so bad that I had to sit down with her, but I caught a few clips of it. So my recollection of the second half, apart from like the last 7 minutes, was very much vicariously, well, not vicariously, but through my son telling me stuff and popping in and out. So yeah.
I can definitely help for the last, I think the 45 minutes or the last 7 minutes, I literally started painting a portrait of my partner. So she was giving me an update. She doesn't even watch football, but she was giving me an update on what's going on.
Okay.
So same boat, kind of.
Look, I'm sure between the two of us, we'll sort it out. So look, anyway, in part one of the show today, we'll talk through that game, the City game, and then in the second part, we'll have a quick look at what will hopefully be a bit of respite for this team with the Carabao Cup tie against Bolton at home coming up this Wednesday. So, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, you know. Look, we'll touch on how we're feeling about the game, and especially now that we've had some time to reflect, and then talk about highlights and lowlights. But look, overall, I'm absolutely proud of the performance. My overarching,
Absolutely.
I wanted it to be pride, and I'm really pushing that over. I'm really proud of the performance, but I'm so gutted about the result, and so gutted for the team and the fans, because it's a result I believe we deserved. It would have been amazing, given all the circumstances around this game and during the game, a bit of a, excuse my language, fuck you result to everyone who keeps putting us down.
Absolutely.
And now it feels like a defeat. It's amazing that a draw feels like a defeat, and I want to focus on the result, but yeah, here we are again. We're going to be talking about refs, talking about all the bullshit that comes with them again, and the bullshit luck on our side, that we will have to touch on. But I feel like, and based on the chat we were having beforehand, there will be a lot of positive. This is going to be a positive take on this. We're going to extract all of that. We will touch on the bollocks and the BS and all the rest of it, but I think we'll come out. So overarching again, pride, but that sense, that gut wrenching sense is still there. A bit of performance. So before we get into highlights, lowlights, how are you feeling?
No,
now you've had time to reflect, Kusava.
The same way, honestly, there's a pain, and I guess that's the joy of being a human. You can feel multiple emotions at once. There's a pain that is just like, we're so close, but then that overarching feeling of, we held this team to a 2-2 draw with 10 men, and these guys just don't lose at home. So my fear was conceding any time before the 80th minute, and then stressing out like these guys are going to win the game. So yeah, pain, of course, disappointments that we lost when we did, but absolutely just happy and proud of the boys for doing what they had to do, and they did it. They absolutely did it.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, I do fear for your heart, considering
exactly
considering that considering your current state of health. But it's all good. It's all good. It's just a small matter. He'll be fine. He'll be here at least for the rest of the pod. But I'm not sure he'll be able to last many more games like that. Look. In terms of your highlights and lowlight from the game, Christopher, what would you stress?
I'll start with my lowlight. My lowlight has to be the goal, Haaland's goal, just because I've been on a soapbox for the last 3 weeks, telling everyone that they need to get Arsenal assets into their FPL team, because our defense is so good. We never get Haaland a chance. And I think it was Calafiori's first start in a very big game also. He was a bit immature, getting super tight on Savinho, and that was disappointing. Seeing him getting cooked the way he did was the low light. And then through that, acres of space, Haaland's first touch was, a goal going to the back of our net. So that was the low light. The highlights on the flip side is his goal. Honestly, the fact that we had a quick restart that wasn't pulled back, love it. The fact that City fans are crying about Walker not being in his position, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And Martinelli getting an assist, then Calafiori scoring an exceptional goal. Big highlight for me. How about you?
We'll touch on a couple of points around the goals a bit later. I think my highlight, I would say, Big G, Gabriel Magalhaes' his header. just loved it, loved it. Just the all round. I mean, the accuracy of Saka's cross twice, and it's not luck.
Yeah.
There was a brilliant video. Someone did a split screen of the corner that he headed over the bar versus the goal, and it's the movement and the corner and everything. It was almost identical, and so this is no fluke. And those Tottenham fans, like they did last week, are right to turn away. Our
Yeah.
corners are like penalties now. You know, it's incredible. And just the leap and the power. And look, he's 2 yards out. I'd be able to header that one in like. I'm more of a leaping salmon than a behemoth like him. But I love that goal, and then it was sort of like. Yeah, just like screamed my head off when that went in, and just fuck you. It was great, and just everything. That was my highlight. The low light, is the Trossard sending off, and again we'll touch on that. It's just so much to say, so much to say about that. And well, actually, let's get that out of the way now. Let's get it out.
Let's talk about it now.
Let's get it out of the way now. We can focus on all the positive stuff afterwards.
Exactly.
But it's just fucking. We're here again. Here we go again. And
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to find my. I've got extensive notes in it. Look, I can't be asked with this. I just did it, and I said, really, are we here again on? And there's so much so wrong about the decision. Now, people will touch on it. People will say, oh, Trossard shouldn't kick the ball away. I'm not going with that, and I'll explain why. The only thing is about not kicking the ball away is don't give the referee a decision to make, because referees are stupid, they're incompetent, they're inconsistent, they're subconscious bias, blah, blah, blah. He could not wait to get his second yellow out to give it. And actually, I'm not even sure what the yellow card for was, because there was confusion of whether it was for the free kick or the delaying of a restart.
It is confirmed. It is delaying for the restart.
Okay. Because either way, it was bullshit. Because it was all the free kick. Haaland did something twice as worse against the leader in the opening minute and nothing. So if it's for the delay of the restart, okay. So there's a snapshot and you watch it and all the rest of it. So first off, he's in the motion of kicking the ball as a referee is blowing the whistle. He had his back to Oliver, and I would suggest he's actually passing out to Nelly, who was going to be free down the left. So all that. So there's mitigation. So if Oliver is going to make that decision to change the game, to ruin the game, you know, to become the center of attention, that's why he does it.
Exactly.
He must be so certain that, you know what, this has to be a yellow card and I have to send him off, because I'm so certain that it was a deliberate act of delaying the restart, not, blah, 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 and all these things he played, and it's a fucking technical matter. And then there's again, like there was with the Rice thing, he didn't book Doku early in the game. Now
he didn't, yeah.
And what happened with the Doku thing? He said, "Oh, Doku was passing the ball back to your player," but he wasn't passing back to where the free kick was from. He didn't kick it back to Rice, and he gave him the benefit of the doubt, which I'm okay with. I'd rather have that than the other. But then don't do the other thing. And then last week, in exactly the same scenario, Szoboszlai for Liverpool on a yellow card after a free kick, kicked the ball away, no yellow card. Do you know who the ref was?
Same ref, yeah.
Same fucking referee, and so it's just a joke. And so the best refs are the ones you don't notice. And I don't know what's happening with Howard Webb
that's true.
and the PGMO best friends forever group. what they've decided, I think they feel like, oh, we're part of the entertainment now, we're part of the story, so we need to put ourselves in the middle of this and make sure we're talked about, because to justify our existence. You compare that to midweek against Atalanta, where no fuss, I could quibble about that ref, but he just like, all right, come on lads, just don't be stupid. And then got on with it. Here, center of attention. So basically it just ruins it. Okay, it ruins the game for everyone other than people that don't like Arsenal. Okay, look, I'm always gonna, when they say it ruins the game, there's always going to be a side that, oh, I'm pleased for that. But it's just bullshit. And then the nonsense this week, Bukayo handling the ball outside the box.
That was insane. That was absolutely outrageous, actually.
Nothing to see here. And then Martinez, that faux butcher, two-footed karate kick style jump. at the ball. And I don't care if he didn't make contact. He was out of control and only a yellow. But hey, technical issues have to be clamped down on, have to be yellow cards. We need to change the game because someone has caused a technical infringement. And it's just bullshit. It's not conspiracy. It's just pure crapness, PR, bad management, egos, whatever.
Yeah, it's BS, and I wholeheartedly agree. I promised myself about 5 weeks ago now, when the season started, that I think it was the first game or the second game when we had that really shit. Yeah, it was Brighton when we had that really shit call. I promised myself that I'm not going to get annoyed and angered for more than 2 days after officials do shit like this, and I've stood by that. I will support your petitions. I'll upvote your tweets, whatever the case is, but I'm not going to be annoyed because it's just continuously going to happen. And my big issue is just there's no consistency. There's just no consistency. And if there was, I'm not going to be crying about Trossard. On the point of Leo's second yellow, I think they actually Sky Sports did an analysis, and they counted there's like 0.8 seconds between the whistle being blown and Leo kicking the ball away. There's no reasoning there. There's no common sense. It's literally, hey guys, I want to be the star of the show today, so I'm just going to give this guy a yellow card without thinking about it. And that's exactly what he did. So it is frustrating. I'm not as mad because I've promised myself for my mental health. I'm not gonna let these things get to me because they will continue happening. They'll continue happening, but you can't ignore it. You genuinely cannot ignore this BS. In the last, is it 2 seasons now, where we've lost 3 players on second yellow cards for time wasting. Guys, that is unheard of. It's actually just unheard of. But it seems like we are being used as an example. And the funny thing is, we are the only example. There's no other example. Everyone else, it's fine. You can do what you need to do. But yeah, that's my 2 piece on the PGMOL.
Absolutely, and it's just nuts, But we've been here before. No, I like that. We want to talk about the football, and that should be the primary thing that we should be looking at. And if we lose because of football or we win because of football, great. Not because of referees, and that's the annoying thing. That's the frustrating thing. And no one asked for this. Who asked for this? Before fine. It's a technical infringement. Fine. That's what you got the clock for. That's why you had time on, call them back, and all the rest of it. But here's the consistency thing. If you're going to officiate like that, fine. We all know where we stand consistently. Fine. We all know, no excuses.
Yeah.
But I did think about this, and I was wondering, because this is like a technical indiscretion, and I was just thinking, because the whole point of sending someone off, the whole point of referees is to protect player safety. So the whole point of sending someone off is to protect the players on the pitch from some person who's out of control causing more damage, or to stop others potentially causing damage to players. That's the primary objective of the referee. Okay.
Yeah.
So for technical matters, and I think in other sports they do this well. This is where the idea of a blue or orange card, whatever, or a sin bin, it would be perfect for this. Fine, they've done something against the rules, a technical infringement. Very easy to determine what's technical and what not. Fine, sin bin, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. You get the punishment. You go off and all the rest of it. But to put a kicking the ball away 3 millimeters to 30 meters as the equivalent of a potential leg breaker, it's just bollocks. And that for me is potentially an easy way to get around this. But it seems that it's only us that have this issue in the Premier League. Nowhere else has it. So FIFA or IFAB or whoever aren't going to bother with this. But for me, fine. If you have to punish this, don't ruin a game. Don't make a team play 10 men for 45 minutes. That's bollocks. So that maybe that's somewhere where we could go with this, but that's down to Arsene Wenger and IFAB, I guess.
Yeah, we need to hope that he comes through again.
Yes, let's hope so. So look, okay, so that's that out of the way. We might touch on all the added time later, but that's him out of the way. So what did you think? So in terms of the lineup, how did you feel about the lineup? What were your thoughts on the lineup that we started with?
So I was really surprised by Calafiori starting. I don't know why. I only saw the lineup 30 minutes before the game because I was just ignoring the game.
Yeah.
I was just too scared. So I was surprised by that, but I mean it paid off really well. Everything else expected. Partey starting, he's been a bit dodgy the last couple of weeks. His legs are gone, so I thought that we were going to see Jorginho, but Jorginho is not a spring chicken himself. So I guess it is a difficult situation for Mikel. But yeah, I mean, expected starting lineup except for Calafiori.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, it's fine. I think Rice was carrying a knock, and Arteta says he will never pull himself out of a game. So
Yeah.
Arteta was protecting him. He'll run through walls for Arsenal. So I think it was just protecting him. So it was a surprise, but I wasn't that disappointed because I think Calafiori's done well in his cameos.
Yeah.
Tim go to his favoured side. He's a beast. So and will match up, physically. So I wasn't too bothered. I was a bit I'm-and-ahhing about Jorginho and Partey. You're right, but Partey in the end played a great game.
You did.
But you know what I was thinking? It was potentially this, and we got there in the end. But I was thinking maybe this was a game for five at the back. And now this touches on the goal that we gave away in the first 5 minutes as well. So having Timber, Raya, Timber, White, Saliba, Big G, Calafiori, Rice and Partey, Saka, Havertz, and Nelly. So then Havertz is playing in his primary role as a target man. We have a strong back five which covers all the gaps, and then you have Rice and Partey in the middle, just shielding and stuff. So you sort of play a 6-4 or something like that. Because one of the issues that we had and highlighted in the Spurs game was down our left channel, the gap between Timber and Gabriel got better, was wide, and Spurs were so crap they couldn't exploit it.
Yeah.
But with the likes of Silva and Gundogan and Savinho, and it was a potential danger area there, and it got exposed in the first 10 minutes that Calafiori, Big G next to each other, getting used to it. There were other elements that made it go wrong. So I was thinking, well, if we had the big five across the back, because in a way you're going to bring back one of the wingers, you're going to bring back Nelly or Saka to form five, or Partey's being dropping back in the middle to make a five anyway. So why don't we start that way? I thought it was a potentially, and it's not. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative formation, because Calafiori, you've seen Calafiori, he can attack. Timber can attack, and we'd have options on the break with Saka and Nelly. So I think that was maybe an option, but it didn't. We got there as if we got there in the end, not how we wanted. But I just thought, and that was on that first goal. We gave away space in that channel. There was a new relationship, bit of confusion. Saliba out of position, because Gabriel was out of position, because Calafiori didn't do his job properly. So we recovered, but there we go. So that was the team, but look, it was a good team. We are a solid team now.
No, we are, and I think that's the fact that you've brought up that option is because we have the depth to consider something like that and still have attacking intent. As you mentioned, Calafiori and Timber, as much as they are good central defenders, they're also really good at attacking, so it's good to know that if we ever need to, without losing a man, we can fall into that formation. And I'm curious to see if Arteta will actually try it out, because as you said, that's how we ended up yesterday anyways. and it worked out. It really did work out for most of the game.
Yeah, for all 500 minutes or however many minutes. But also, what I want to call out, so we feel like the draw feels actually like a loss. But interestingly, before the game, if I'd say go away, get a point, get out of the Etihad, would you have taken that?
I would have taken it. Obviously, I want to beat City at their home. And I think a lot of other teams for the last, how long has it been now? 4 years, want to do the same.
Yeah.
But I'll take a win away against City any day. More so with 10 men, please, sign me up.
Well, that's the thing. So look, I predicted 1-1. I think I would have been happy with a point, and definitely at half time happy with a point. But we were so close to all three.
We were.
But the thing is, if you put it into context, we played in the league, away to Villa, away to Spurs, away to City. Again, if I say we get 7 out of 9, you would have. I think most people would have snapped your hands up, like you know. And we were 30 seconds away from getting all 9 points. We
That's
also
insane.
played. We also played Atalanta away on Thursday,
Mhm.
getting back Friday morning, so we had 1 day less to prepare. Where City were at home versus Brentford, where funnily enough they only played 2 minutes of injury time, but that's another story. And then they strolled around the park against Inter on Wednesday. Plus we're dealing with injuries, suspensions, new players. You know, we're missing our captain. Timber's coming off the back of an ACL. Calafiori his first start for us, and he hardly had a pre-season. You know, White played the second half, and he's carrying a knock. And it's only September, so we you know, to get there, but of course we wanted to win, and that's what I touched on before. That win, we would have felt. I would have been bouncing around the house, the walls, everywhere. I think I would have gone in the garden and screamed my head. I know we would have been smiling so much, and I still think we have a lot to be
To smile about. Yeah.
smart about, to be happy out. So if you put
Yeah.
all the context in, and to be 30 seconds away, and they only get a lucky goal, you know. I love it, and we have City rattled.
We do.
City, they are a bunch of bullies, and they don't like it one bit that we've come in and stood up to them and given a piece of their own medicine. So what do you think of that? Yeah, you know, they know we're here and we're here to stay.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the points that you brought up, why we should still be happy, is why City's so rattled. The fact that Villa, who beat us twice last season, we beat. The fact that we beat Spurs away from home with 2 Roombas in the midfield, and nearly just beat City, you know, is why City are rattled. City players never speak shit the way they're speaking right now. And I love it. I love that Silva's jumping onto the media saying, "Oh, these guys are defending," whatever the case is. I love that John Stones said what he said, because they're not used to this. They've been dominating for so long, and now they're like, "Holy shit, these guys could actually take it away from us." And yeah, we could. So yeah, be rattled, boys.
Well, I hope so. Well, the irony, John Stones, you know, talking about the dark arts from the rotational foulers, those who foul high up to stop breaks. They're the masters of it. You know, Silva, he was going about, well, is it as much of a a rivalry compared to Liverpool, who won stuff? You know, the Premiership existed before City.
Yeah, exactly.
Got that cat. You know. Oh, and Silva wanted us to play more like Liverpool did when they went down to.
Are you mad?
Down to 10 men. Do you know what that score finished? 5-0.
5-0.
5-0 to City. Oh, sorry, we just didn't say, okay, over to you, City. So they are rattled, and the biggest baby of them all, the biggest one showing that we've got right on the nose is Haaland. You know, at the end of the game, the way he threw the ball at Big Gabby, and look, fine, if Ben White did it, we'd be laughing our heads off, and that's fine. But picking on Miles Lewis-Skelly, pick on someone your own size and all that, barging into party at the very end. He is rattled. He does not like it. He had 1 shot, 1 goal, good, very good, boring, yada yada yada.
That was it.
That was it. And we the only reason you were able to do those other things because Gabriel and Saliba let you out of their pockets. It's like, it's such a big fucking baby, and just they don't like it when you stand up to them and give as good as it gets. So even Rodri was trying it on at the very first minute. Now you know. And what I really liked was when Saliba was poleaxed by Haaland in the beginning. Saliba didn't stay on the deck crying or whinging, trying to get him booked arrested, trying to become a meme, with Haaland standing over him. He got up straight away. What's the problem? Nothing.
Let's go again. Exactly.
Yeah. We've. Is running. I want to say we have their number. Until we get the 3 points at the head-to-head, I'll refrain from that. But a message was sent, and we will use this as fuel in the future. And this is now going to turn into a sort of a proper rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you know this, the last time City boys were rattled like this was when they got beaten by Madrid. I think it was in Madrid. They all came out speaking shit. All of them. Rodri, these guys are defending, blah. Madrid they don't care. Madrid went on to win the Champions League. Yeah. They do not care how you feel about how they played. So, hey man, if we defended the way we did with 10 men. I don't care, bro.
What are we supposed to do? Sorry, yeah,
Exactly.
after you, fuck off. I'm pleased we are more Mourinho than Pep.
Absolutely.
And that's what's needed. And stuff. It means we can
Yeah.
change it up. We can do something different. We're not just like one dimensional. Going to, I said 30 seconds away. Now there will people say, well, we should have done better and we should have won, but I'm not going to have that. Today's not a day for that. But yeah, and look, in terms of, and the reason why we have to respect them, as you said, like, was it I think what are some of the stats that they've yeah, you're right, they've been like since we drew 0-0 last season, they've won 13, scored 33, they're unbeaten in their last 32 Premier League games, City. So however, they've not beaten us now in 4 games.
They haven't.
3 in the Prem, 1 in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
They can't beat us with 10 men. They can't beat us with the refs in their pocket.
And I think if I remember correctly, Kiwo played the last game and Zinchenko played the game before that, where we beat them, I think. So give us any variation. We'll come through and we'll show up against City. And we're a different team now.
And this rivalry is different to previous rivalry because I think there was a grudging respect. Like when there was a big rivalry with Man United sort of in the 90s and in the 2000s, there was a grudging respect. You hated them, but you respected them. I have zero respect for City.
Zero.
I have nothing. There's no redeeming features about them or their fans. I've got nothing there. So, it's not up there with Chelsea hatred, but I tell you what, it's not far off. Even then, with Chelsea, there's a bit of, all right, we'll give it. There's a bit of a man on man type stuff. City, just big bunch of fucking babies, a lot of them. So look, we've not quite got their number, but let's see what happens when we come to the Emirates. It's on our turf. The running for the season. We're still up. If we're both still in it, that would be incredible. That'll be incredible. That'll be some games. So
going back to your stats, I need to give a shout out to, and it's one of your notes in my notes. A shout out to Saka. He is just so consistent. You cannot just not have him in your FPL team. It's stupid because he's going to give you an assist regardless if you like it or not. He's going to give you an assist. So seeing him at 8 assists in 12 games is just we seeing a proper elite footballer. And as you mentioned about the goal, it's just like for like. These guys are practicing these corners all the time. We can see that, but practicing it can help so much. You also still have to execute on the pitch. You still have to execute, and Saka's coming through literally all the time. It's unfortunate that he was taken off at the time that he was, because I'm sure he could have done something else. But you know what? I'm all for Saka getting some rest, any rest possible. So it's okay.
I don't think he's had this much rest in ages. He's got 5 assists in a row this season. I think he's scored 12. You said assisted 8 in the last 22 Premier League games. He's elite. He is our star boy. Consistent. It's nuts. So on that, what did you think about him being the sacrificial lamb?
It made me think of the last game. He wasn't made the sacrificial lamb, and he didn't really show up as much as we expected him to show up. So I think it made sense in that sense, and also possibly he just needs a little break. And I'll say it again, I'm not against Saka getting a break, at all. How did you feel about that? It was a surprise, but I wasn't too sad about it.
I was all right because our job in the second half was to defend.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would suggest, is our worst defender. I'm not saying he's a bad defender, but out of those players out on the bench, he's the least good at defending.
Yeah.
And I think, and also shout out to Martinelli. You said, we got the assist, worked his socks off, but clearly, helped with the defense and so on. And I think he's just a more disciplined, better defender. So that's it. So I don't think it's a reflection on Saka per se. And yes, he could offer us something, but even then, I think Martinelli's got better pace or faster pace, so he'd be more of an outlet and all that. we never got there, but that was that. So I wasn't too worried about that. It's just not his game. So fine, horses for courses, and so on. A couple of again, we are still unbeaten away in 2024. That is
Yeah.
that is still nuts.
9 months later, right? We could go the whole season. I mean, the whole year. I could see. I don't want to jinx it, and I'll touch wood. But honestly, we guys, I'll say it again. City against 10-man Arsenal. We managed to draw a point.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like you just have to. You need to look at that. Overarching scenario. You have to. You just have to.
Do you think? How do you think we would have fared with 11 men? Do you think maybe with 11 men we might have been more open and therefore maybe more exposed or something like that? So I'm not saying that how going to 10 men and trying to do that, defense versus attack footballing drill, but do you still think we would have got away with the results with 11 men?
Yeah, I think so. I think what would have happened if Leo didn't get a red card, I think they would have gone into the changing rooms. Arteta would have shat on the team for conceding the goal that they did, and they would have come back out a bit more structured, a bit more disciplined, and would have probably defended the way we did, but not as much. And I think because we have 2 outlets now,
Yeah,
should have been a better situation. So I think would have pulled it off, honestly, just because that first goal really annoyed me because it was immature and it's a weakness that you pointed out against Spurs, and it's something that I don't expect from this team. We are really good at defending, and I just don't expect that. So I think would have come back a bit more disciplined and said, okay, cool, let's go again, and maybe scored that third goal to finish, 3-1. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard to say how things pan out. We could have. I wouldn't have been surprised with 11 men if it ended up 2-2. That's not a huge stretch of the imagination, considering what City have, what they have. I mean, Rodri was out, KDB was out, so there was that chance if they did, even with 11 men, that we had, and I think we had their number. We were in this game. I think we were on the ascendancy. Apart from the first 20 minutes, City offered very little. Even against 10 men, they offered very very little. So I think we were the better team in the second half of the first half, and if we'd have carried on the momentum, there might have been gaps for us. Sterling coming on, who likes a goal against City, so it wouldn't have been too far of a stretch in imagination for it to the same result to play. And I think we're just so gutted with the way it panned out. Had City equalised after 60 minutes and we hung on, the emotions would be different. So it's really interesting, the narrative and how you feel based on how
the game stays,
the game staying, how the game pans out, and then there's also a lot of results based narrative, because if we'd lost this game, because I think if they'd got one earlier, I think the moment it would have been too hard to hold out against that, and then all the story is, should we have been braver with 10 men? Why are we sitting so far deep? But it wasn't. It isn't. We are where we are. I also want to give a special shout out to Miles Lewis Skelly for achieving the great feat of being yellow carded, of course, ref, before he's even made his first Premiership appearance. So welcome to the club, Miles. You are now a true Arsenal player.
He really is, and I don't know if you noticed him when they would pan out to the bench. He was standing a lot of the time. You could see the boy was stressed for the players on the pitch. I was like, I love this kid. Everyone else is sitting down, stressed, I'm sure. But he was literally standing on a set of stairs, just like, what the fuck's going on here? And I think you got put in an odd 20 minutes after that shot, and I'll find it for you guys. But shout out to the new boy. You're an Arsenal man now.
Yeah, good man. So I said, look, this was the biggest game of two halves ever. So if you're looking at the first half, I think I said in it, first 10-20 minutes, City came in, wanted to outmuscle us. Sorry, not having that, and we even went 1-0 down, and we got back up, and we didn't allow it. Gundogan, it's funny, we talk about age, about Partey or Jorginho, and Gundogan's 50, and he was and he's dictating things, and nobody cares about his age, and he was.
That's true.
It was fantastic fantastic. But even then, he dropped off, and as we grew into the game, I'm not going to go into the XG and all that lot. It was fairly even if you look at it. So in the first minute, Rodri went down holding his face. I don't know. Anyone's got a clear on it. I've seen things like it was Havertz run into him, or it was Rodri ran into Havertz. Don't know.
It looked like just a general misstep, a real ACL type injury.
No, I'm talking about the 1 minute. No, we'll get on to
the 1 minute. Oh, sorry, my bad.
The 1 minute, when Rodri went down.
Yes.
In the first, like holding his face, like. Does anyone know actually what happened, or was it? I don't know. I'm hoping Havertz was just doing a big fuck you, but I was worried that, oh God, 1 minute in, is he going to get sent off?
That was my fear too. I was like, he's already getting his yellow card. There we go.
Not even yellow, red. Oh well, we don't know what happened. In the 8th minute, Haaland scores, as we've said, too easy. Too many things just went wrong. But we can correct that. That's the good thing about that sort of goal, can be easily corrected, and I think it will be. It was just circumstances. City exploited it well, but all very boring. Haaland and then Carragher and the other pillar on co-coms going on. Oh, look, this is what City do. They've had easy games, but now the big games here, they step up and they're going to take it. Can Arsenal cope? We can cope and do better.
We can cope.
Yeah, we can do better. In the 14th, again, Gundogan hit the post with a free kick. Not so worried. It was on the outside of the post, so close, but wasn't going in.
Do you think Raya had that? If it was a little bit further in, do you think you'd have saved that?
I don't know. I've not rewatched it. I'm not going to rewatch.
No,
I've not seen it. Yes. For sure. It was never again. I don't know. Do you think he had it?
It looked like he had covered his side. And also Raya's just Super Saiyan right now, so he can do anything, right?
Exactly. But he almost stopped the equalizer going in.
Exactly, right? Imagine that.
Imagine that. And then I think the game changed in the first half in the 16th. So we said Rodri down from a corner. He was running alongside Partey. Beats get caught in the turf. Yeah, it didn't look good. What you thought? Yeah, you said it. It looked like a classic ACL.
It did. I'm sorry, guys. I hope he's out for it. And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Okay.
You're not crying. Okay, no, I get it. You're not crying for him. That's fine. Let's see how City cope. We don't know. It looked ligaments, ACL. Yeah, it's hard to say. He wasn't happy. Could be months. It is what it is. We're not going to gloat, but also it's not the worst news either. And then I think after that, it sucked the atmosphere, the intensity out of the crowd, out of City, and then on 21 minutes, beautiful Calafiori. What a way to introduce yourself to the Premier League.
What a goal.
What a goal. So Partey takes a quick free kick from the centre of the pitch out wide to Nelly on the left. Nelly, nice run. Cuts inside, passes to Calafiori. Perfectly weighted because Calafiori didn't even break stride. Just sweeps with his left foot. First time, curling into the far side of the netting. Get in. It was like beautiful. And I like the way he went to the bench to celebrate. I think there must be something in there, must be close relationship, something, whatever. But it was, beautiful. How did you?
That was my highlight, right? Exactly what you said. Just everything from, that quick free kick, being smart, being intelligent around these dead balls, set pieces, and the goal was just perfect. So hoping that gives him confidence to continue building on. And shit, man, all the best to everyone who's trying to get into that back line, besides the guys fighting Saliba and Guerrero. But it's hot back there, man. It's really, really tough.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it. And what about your thoughts? So City were complaining now. You were saying Walker wasn't back in position, or the free kick not taken from the right spot. Yeah. First off, I say, excuse my language, fuck 'em. But there may be mitigating circumstances for Walker because it wasn't like he went to the ref to complain. I think Saka and Walker were
Captains, yeah.
captain them, and the ref wanted to speak to them. But I think he had plenty of time to get back into position. I think there was also a substitution that may have confused things, but he had time to get back into position, and I think Pep was more annoyed that he was not concentrating. And in terms of the free kick not being taken in the right spot, there may be an element of that. But do you know how the ball got to the spot that it was in?
Yeah.
Bernardo
Silva, yeah.
Silva was the one who dragged it out their way. So again, fuck you. If you're going to be a dick, look what happens. Don't go complaining. Whatever. Small man syndrome and all that. So yeah, I'm not having all that. As Rowan doing, concentrate, get on with the game. And then 37 was the first of Gabriel's headers. So close. It was just too high for him. I don't think he could get over it. He did his best. I'm not criticizing him there. It wasn't easy. It just an inch too high. Then on 41, Tross had an effort over the bar. Again, nice play by Nelly.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to go in, just given Trossard's finishing in front of goals.
Yeah.
You always just think anytime he shoots, it's going to go. So I had that hope. But yeah, again, good play by Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then take us through our king of Brazil, 2-1.
I mean, what can you say, right? I'm pretty sure there are City fans closing their eyes because they know we are set piece FC. Perfect delivery from Saka, in swinger as they do. Big G is the only one outside of the mess that is the 6-yard box, comes in as he does and knocks it in 2 yards from the goal. I mean, it was just what we expected from Big G and Saka linking up again. I was also surprised why they were trying to check for if there was some sort of obstruction. VAR was called in, but I'm glad that it stood. And no, honestly, these guys, they know what they're doing in those set pieces. I don't know if Jova has gotten his raise yet, but I think he needs to get another one because
I think I said on the pod last week that I don't care about Arteta's contract. Get Nicolas Jova down on the Chelsea contract, 10 years.
Yeah,
have a sight. Yeah, and so on. And I think we've got smart on corners again. So Ben White or whoever the equivalent, nowhere near the goalkeeper now. And it's all about movement. It's all about running. So no one's pushing. No one's anything. Martinelli this time was the one who just ran into a position and then stood still. So he's not using his arms. He's just using his body to stop Ederson getting out. So I think they were just looking. No, Arsenal can't be winning 2-1 against City away from home. And at the end, no, we need to find a way to rule this goal out. There was nothing there. And also Walker trying to poke Gabriel before. What was he doing? And then he started doing that, and then Gabriel just all right, whatever, and then runs away from him, and Walker's still stuck to the penalty spot. What's he doing, like the idiot? So it's no, it was great. And then we're going to go, all right, we're going 2-1 half time. Brilliant. We're on top of this, etc., etc. We've discussed the Trossard.
We've discussed this.
Yellow, I'm not, and all the rest of it. So it was what it was. So then second half came, switched to 5 at the back, and we had practice against Brighton. So we knew what we were doing. And then all these people complaining that, we were defending or that, there was a lot of talk about, we were slowing things down, we were taking our time, blah, blah, blah. What the hell do you expect? What do you want us to do? Sorry, the referee gave us this game. We're going to do what we can. And it just turned into a defense versus attack, training exercise.
It's funny that people say this, but when we lost to Newcastle and they did exactly the same thing, it was a tactical masterclass by Newcastle. So the narrative always switches up, when it's the team that you don't like, which is fair, right? I'm not going to hate on that. That's football fandom. But again, what do you expect us to do? It's City, guys. It's Haaland.
Because look, imagine we did try and get out and tried to do something, and then we gave up a goal. Yeah, because that's naive and all the rest of it. So you can turn and spin a narrative however you want. And that's it. The plan. We were 30 seconds away from the plan working. Calafiori and Timber were knackered, going down with cramp, and all the rest of it. Absolutely shattered. And it's not the physical side of things, because I think physically going side to side, shuffling, it's the mental, just
Mental, yeah.
mentally switched on, having to. And this is City. This is here they can poke and probe, but the City actually were dumb and they offered nothing. And fine, if someone's going to have a shot from 35 yards and it goes in, and so therefore I was worried when what's his name came on, the rubbish.
Kiel.
No, for
Oh,
City.
for City.
Uh,
Foden.
Odin came on. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, he's going to smack one in. But it was Diaz having shots. It was Walker having shots. Fine, restricting to that. So, why City weren't getting us? What you've got to do is spread it out wide and get it wide, get balls in the box, cause chaos. But we kept it nice and tight.
Yeah.
They did not really have a chance. And Raya made some decent saves, but they weren't saves that were spectacular, or you weren't expecting
a goalkeeper to make them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, as much as we were good, City were poor. Is that down to us? Is that down to them? Had KDB been playing, might have been different.
Yeah.
We gave them nothing. But yeah, mentally they stayed strong, and the subs did well when it came on. But I found it hard to watch. I mean, I bet we all felt. What sucked it out of me was like enjoying the game. Fine, we're winning 2-1, and this is why I sort of couldn't watch, because the City equaliser, even when it's inevitable, what's the point? Where's the fun? Where's the fun? And it wasn't until like you got 90 minutes that I thought, well, okay, at least we got a point now. At least we didn't have a point, and then, oh my God, we're going to win this.
Yeah.
And then I did a rewatch just so I knew what had happened of the equaliser up to the point where I think Kovacic shot, because I didn't want to watch any more of it because I remember it sort of ingrained. So the Stones equalises in the 97th minute. Now, where 7 minutes came from, I don't know. I know I loved Raya's tactical injury, which is fine. You got to do what you got to do, but 7 minutes. What's the irony of that is he added 7 minutes, which is they've stopped doing ridiculous times. The irony was that in the second half, the ball was in play for 35 minutes, which is the most in any Premier League game this season. So therefore, the ball in play the most. Where the hell did 7 minutes come from? So Grealish with a quick short corner. I think it's to Gundogan, back to Grealish, passes it to Kovacic on the edge of the box. He shoots. Now, Kivior does really well to dive in front. You want your defender to do, bodies on the line, we say this, fine. And then it rebounds to Stones, who manages just about to score. But we were unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, one, we were knackered, so we just switched off for that nanosecond, missed out on the short corner, and that cost us. And it's a shame. Kivior did well, but Raya was behind him and ready to save and palm it out wide. And then it could have bounced anywhere.
Yeah.
And it fell to him. And even then, as we said, Raya almost saved it.
Yeah, with his foot. Yeah, that would have been insane.
That would have been so funny. That would have been like, oh my God, giving the Player of the Season award already. How did you feel when that one in? What was just? Did your brush stroke suddenly go?
Yeah, I was looking down at my piece of art, which is just honestly quite gorgeous, and I smudged my partner's face, and I was like, fuck, now I have to start again. But it was a little bit expected, because in the last, I'll say the last 3 minutes of the game in stoppage time, there was a scenario where they got the ball into the box, right? So while we were defending most of that second half, they weren't getting the ball into the box at all. They were getting close just outside the box, but they were not getting into the box. And I was like, as soon as these guys get this ball into the box, it's going to cause more problems, because now it's just shoot, hit, and hope.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with the short corner. Really smart. I'm surprised that, and again, you said it is a nanosecond of switching off because we're knackered. But I'm surprised that Scaly MLS wasn't looking at the short corner, given that he was a bit quicker and he was a bit fresher. But it is what it is. Ball came in, and it's just unfortunate. It really is just unfortunate that we conceded the way we did when we did. And yeah, that's football, right? That's why we do what we do. That's why you travel to Atlanta and go watch the game, because we love the pain. We love the joy, but we
Yeah.
also love the pain, even though
Yeah.
we don't admit it.
We're gluttons for punishment. And then Haaland, then in the 98th minute, and I think this helped us in a way, Haaland being
Yeah, it did.
being the big baby that he is. I don't know what he was doing. He just ran straight into Party. For what? I don't get what he's trying to do. Anything? What's he doing? Like the idiot. Because you know what? That fracker basically killed the game.
Exactly.
And it finished it. I'm fine if you want to do that.
I'll take it.
You know, but it's like just the petulance of he is. So, but yeah, look, we got, as I said, we got the draw. Should have been a win. I feel gutted for the guys, gutted for the team, gutted for the fans. But we're here, and we're not going anywhere. So you know, take the positive. Happy. I love this team. Who do you think? Who would you have as your man of the match, or or notable mentions?
I would say I've been very critical of Martinelli, but I would say he was top for me. I wouldn't say man of the match, but he was my favorite player yesterday, just because he is putting in a shift. You can see the boy is lacking on that shooting confidence, but he is trying, and I think that's the reason why Arteta's starting him. And yesterday he did it again. You know, he was there at the back doing what he needed to do to make sure that we were covered. And as soon as he starts scoring again, it's going to be game over. So I really do hope he saw that assist of his as, I'm back on that GA stats list, you know. So that's my star of the game. But there were a lot of really good performances all around. I mean, Calafiori, of course, and Simba. How about you?
No, I on the Nelly front, look, holistically for the team, he's great. It's just that final action. I think we talked about it. He just needs something to go in. Something he got the assist yesterday. He was an outlet, created a couple of chances. So I'm not worried. It's just that final action. It will come. We can coach it. He train it. Is fine. And as I said, what he puts in is more than just running around and putting a lot of effort in. Tactically, he does exactly what Arteta wants him to do. Just that final action. And I'd be more worried if he wasn't getting to places and wasn't in position.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he is running around. I think Rare again. Some of the times his claiming of the ball, for crosses, man, he just exudes such confidence. He's amazing. Again, important saves, great tactical injury, just to, so we can sort of have a bit of a chat, and then you're right, Calafiori, Timber, Big G, Saliba, Rice, Partey, all of them except Trossard. all of them except Trossard. So yeah, pleased, and we move on. And in terms of predictions, Moz predicted 2-1, so we got the 2, but we let in the 1, and I predicted the draw, which it came out. So it wasn't a result that needed more singing from me. So look, we need now to capitalize on this. We need to use this as fuel.
Absolutely.
In a way, what's going to be interesting. So this week you take in isolation, Spurs away, Atalanta away, City away, injury, suspensions,
Villa
as well. You go so that's that done. That's the first part of the season done. You got 11 points out of 15. Should be 15 out of 15. It isn't. What's going to be interesting now without Odegaard was, how do we set up to beat the low blocks, these lesser teams in inverted commas? How do we beat Leicester? I'm not even worried about Southampton, but we should. but how do we beat Southampton? How do we attack those, and how do we score the goals, and how do we do that? So that would be really interesting to see how we do, because there's no point going to City and almost winning and getting a draw and having your chest all pumped up and pumped out and being who we are if you're not going to do the other half of your job. So let's see what happens with that. And on that note, we'll move on to very quickly spend a few minutes just talking about Bolton in the Milk Cup, Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it, what do you want to call it these days? So, because of what are you looking forward to? Not looking forward to? Are you going? Or
I'm looking forward to my first game of the season at the Emirates. I haven't had an opportunity because I've been traveling or just family commitments.
Yeah.
So super keen, even though it's Bolton during the week, and I've been trying to. I bought the ticket already, but I've been trying to convince my partner to come and join. I'll continue fighting that fight, and hopefully she can see us.
Come on, it's Bolton. Come on, wasn't it? Like, come on.
But I'm expecting, lineups. I'm expecting people who we don't usually see playing. So obviously, all the senior players, I expect those guys to come through. And then I really do hope that Ethan has a start and Miles. So yeah, that's those are my expectations. How about you?
Yeah,
Are you going to the game?
Yeah, no, I'm going. There's nothing I'm not looking forward to. There isn't anything not to look forward to, and other than a banana skin, but I can't see that happening. So in terms of looking forward to, I think you're right. It's seeing the other half of our team, or the others, or the people that don't get a chance or need to get up to speed. So then, in terms of lineup, the irony or funny, stupid, I don't know. Neto is cup tied. So I was actually looking forward to seeing him in goal. I was actually looking forward to seeing him and Ben White, see how they paired up together. But so who's going to go in goal? Yeah, Raya, Stepford, or Jack Porter, who was out in at Atalanta. It'll be interesting what happens in goal. In defence, Timber Calafiori, after the effort they put in, there's Shag. Kivior will play MLS. He should play Heaven. Josh Nichols. It'll be a very young lineup. And then in midfield, I'll be Waneri has to start.
Yes,
will start. Ulad Mahand, I think it will start, because a lot of these players had minutes in preseason, or they've had some minutes. There's this thing, so they've had minutes preseason. So particularly these players, and then it's going to be great to see Sterling have a start, J9 have a start. I think Trossard would have had a start had he not been sent off, but this is going to serve a suspension. So do we play Nelly or
Works
do we?
Out.
So yeah. What do you think about lineup here? How do you think? I think we will go big rotation. We'll have a couple on the bench, but it might be seen as a training exercise as well. So this is what we sometimes don't appreciate. Arteta sometimes uses these, instead of hammering them in training, do half an hour against Bolton.
So I think the big question mark really is Raya going to start? Raya, I think he finished the game with a knock, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He had I'm sure he's fine because he was walking, but he looked like he had some sort of band-aids or taping around his leg. Yeah. So if we can afford to not start him, by all means, let's not start him. I need him to be fit and ready for my FPL. For my Arsenal Premier League team. Yeah. So let's see if Setford or Jack Porter start. But yeah, everyone else, as you mentioned, I'm sure it'll be a big rotation. And I hope that we take it seriously. I'm pretty sure we do, but I do hope we take it seriously this season. Like, these kids need to understand, if they do well, they play more games. Like, it's as simple as that, and I'm pretty sure they know that. And I guess maybe is Arteta going to do that for them with the tactics that he gives them to I guess execute on the game. So Bolton isn't doing great. I know you gave us some show notes around Bolton. They're in League One. They're not doing well. They're conceding a lot. So it should be a win. But I want these kids to take it seriously. Well, not the kids. I want these professional footballers to take this game seriously, because it's an opportunity to really, say, hey, I'm good enough to join or fight for that first team spot.
I think if you're playing, you will take it seriously. I think more in terms of, and I was going to come to that question, how seriously do we as a club take this competition? How seriously does Arteta take it? Look, we always want to win every game. We always want to win something. And this is the perennial question, but at what cost?
Yeah.
And the semi-finals and quarterfinals come before Christmas, after Christmas, or the holiday season, and then you potentially got Champions League games, you got FA Cup games, and all the rest of it. So I want us to continue going through it, but I want us to continue going through it without impinging on our primary players. I'm not going to say first 11, because I don't think there is such a thing as a first 11 at this stage of the season, even up until mid season, because we're horses for courses. Like we saw yesterday, players come in, they step out. I think the idea, you got your trusted squad, but I want people to use it as an opportunity to develop that and create those relationships, give people a chance. So Waneri, if he's asked to come on, and he's played a few of these, so I want us to take it seriously, but not the expense, and not at the expense of our Premier League or Champions League and ambitions. And I think it's a case of, let's see how far we can get with a certain set of players and give them that chance. And this is where the injuries to Marino, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu really hit, because this would have been valuable minutes for them, and
Absolutely.
a really good chance for them. And it's those we can't give them minutes, and it also means that if we can't give the fringe players minutes, it means our primary players have to have minutes, and then there's more minutes in their legs. Now, as I said, against someone like Bolton, I reckon our training would be harder than this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, especially because a lot of these League One, Championship clubs, they don't take it as seriously either, because they think, oh, we're going to get stuffed either way. Hey, it's their chance for them to give their reserves, because their bread and butter is the league.
He's getting promoted.
Yeah. So that's it. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to going into seeing different players and just seeing how we set up. You know, it's one of those ones you can just sit back, no intensity, just enjoy the game for what it is, and have a look. So that's where. And as you said, in terms of Bolton League One, I think they're currently 18th out of, I don't know how many, 40 or so in the league. You know, they're 7 points after 6 games, tied with Wigan, Stevenage, Reading, Crawley, Bristol Rovers. So yeah, they beat Reading 5-2, lost 4-0 to Huddersfield, beat Barrow 3-2, lost to Exeter.
They've considered quite a few goals in the last 5 games.
So I think one of those must be a cup game. So yeah, they score a couple, they let in a couple. Yeah, I've got their top-rated players here, scorers, assists, but I have no idea who any of them are. So there's no point naming any of them. You know, so I looked through their squad. Is there anyone who's dropped down older? Yeah,
no,
no idea. So look, yeah, we should get through this, irrespective of who we put out there. Let's hope it gives them a good, some good experience, a good workout. So what you predicting?
I'm hoping for a 5-0 thriller. I just want us to exercise these Jose Mourinho demons. Again, I appreciate them and they're useful. Jose has 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
But I just want to see free flowing and goals. 5-0.
So with that in mind, would you play Nelly to
Yeah, absolutely.
To give him the chance? But yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because if he doesn't, oh god, you know.
Oh god.
Yeah, all the expectation. So would you start Nelly, or I'm sure he'll be on the bench, but would you start with Nelly?
Yeah, I would. I think, as you said earlier, he's getting into the right positions. He's just not, executing. He's not scoring the goals that he needs to be scoring, that he was scoring 2 years ago. So I think this is a good opportunity to get that confidence up. And a goal is a goal. We saw with Kai and the penalty last season. So yeah, let's see if he starts. But I'll be keen for him to start.
I'm going 3-0. Purely because it just we're very much a team that when we go 2-0 up in these games, foot firmly comes off the pedal. You know, a few substitutions and the game just breaks up, and so I'm. It's a very 3-0, 3-1. I can't see them scoring, but I don't know anything about them. So hey, and football's stupid, so anything can happen. But I don't think anything but a victory, 2-3 goals, and there we're at. So
okay, cool.
So good. So look, we made it through again. Another therapy session completed. Dr. Tabs and Dr. Kuseva in the house, here for your Arsenal mental needs. So look, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for cheering me up, and I needed this. Life is good, I think, in the red part of London, which is all of it, I think.
Yeah, it is. Actually, on that point, I was flying back from a holiday last week after the North London game, and I said this in the group. It was just red everywhere. Like the whole city of London was just red. So yeah, life is good in London in general.
But as I said, we need to capitalize on this.
Yes.
The momentum, use this as fuel. We've got them. We've got an opportunity. Let's just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Let's take advantage of these other random teams that we lose points on. We're unbeaten against City, so we can do it.
We can do it.
But thanks for inviting me back. It was good chatting again. Really good therapy session.
Yeah.
as per usual. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Yeah, and so thank you everyone for listening. As always, you can follow us mainly on Threads now at the Grove AFC. We'll be back with a post Bolton, pre Leicester pod towards the end of the week once Moz gets his life in order. And yeah, so Kosovo will have you back sooner rather than later. Thanks everyone for listening, and have a great day. Bye bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.